Shilajit, is it a bunch of BS? Welcome back to part 7 of our supplement education series, where we look at supplements and supplement ingredients, some of the claims out there about them, and we see what the research literature has to say about it. This one's going to be quick because there's not much literature out there on this, and apologies in advance if I'm butchering the pronunciation. Quick shout out to this killer view out the window. Boosts healthy testosterone. Boosts cellular energy production, enhances athletic performance, supports hormone balance. Strength, stamina, power. Tiger. Pretty slim pickings on finding literature on this, so take a peek at this lit review and what it is saying here. After going through a number of literature, maybe concluded that Shilajit obviously has miraculous properties as described in classical text and folklore. This sounds scientific. But there is a limitation when reviewed on modern parameters, and the limitation is lack of appropriate numbers of double-blind clinical trials and efficacy evaluation, aka there's basically none. Very few human clinical trials. You will see these terms used interchangeably. In this review, this little section of using Shilajit as an anabolic agent, which is what we'd be particularly interested in with those claims. It's been observed anabolic processes are activated, accelerated protein synthesis, elicits favorable muscle and connective tissue adaptation. Let's go check these citations out, and it is not good. Essentially, this is a rodent model where they give a drug to make their muscles lock up. And this is, again, in young rats from 1966. And while we were down here, this actually looks like it would be relevant. Here's that first rodent model, which we are not interested in. And the second one, again, just looking at body weight in rats, not what we're interested in. We do have one clinical trial. This is basically the only one I could find that's actually directly measuring testosterone. Granted, this is in untrained middle-aged men who basically just take a placebo or Shilajit for 90 days. Let's look at the conclusion first, where we see the rise of testosterone, free testosterone, was significant. But when we actually look at this data, we see some funky stuff going on. Here is our Shilajit and our placebos over there. And in our testosterone in the Shilajit group, after 30 days, it increases, 60 days, it goes back down, and 90 days, it skyrockets, apparently. And the placebo, their testosterone is just dropping every single time, which we should not see. Same thing in free testosterone. The placebo group's free test is just plummeting. And the same thing in the Shilajit group. It goes down after 30, down after 60 days, and then just skyrockets at 90 days. We see all kinds of funky stuff with other hormones of interest. Another random study of low or high dose Shilajit versus placebo in young trained males, which is good. We basically see no effect unless we do some statistical gerrymandering. So is Shilajit BS? Pretty much. There's only one randomized controlled trial with very wacky data, so it's BS by default without decent research.